Tottenham Hotspur beat Man City 2-0. Was that a masterclass from Mourinho, Janusz?
Oh, you took it away from me. It is masterclass, and we've waited. I mean, look, I know how you feel about Jose Mourinho, and I have this love-hate relationship with him, just like many do. When he does well, I give him credit. When he doesn't, it seems to be all about him. But look, today or this weekend, actually on Friday, was the 1 year since he came over to Spurs, didn't he? He's had the third best record up until now behind Liverpool and Manchester City. That's remarkable. You look at this team, top, almost second, I think, in scoring, second in terms of goals conceding. It's been absolutely incredible, and it's flown under the radar a little bit. And what he did today reminded me a little bit of the way, he managed Inter in that time, way back when they won the Champions League. And look, we all know that Jose Mourinho's teams can defend. Check, right? We all know that they can score, although maybe we don't necessarily think of him as that, but they've proven in the Premier League already. And what he did today, he nullified just about every attack from Manchester City, even though they've had the possession. So it's incredible to think they're top of the league after what we saw, I guess, the growing pains from last season. We saw the documentary. We've seen the injuries. We've seen the frustration from Jose Mourinho. But, I mean, incredible masterclass. All the credit to him. And Jose, I'm sure I'll be back, maybe a little bit, maybe not as positive, but my goodness, what a performance.
So maybe football hasn't left Jose Mourinho behind, as many would say.
Oh, no. I think when we all criticized, and when I say, I don't know if everybody did, but when I did, I always knew in the back of my head that I better not, because I've been in this game, I played this game, and I know better. There's a reason why he's won so much. And even though you think that it may be getting away from him a little bit, which is probably true, it just takes a little bit of time to get across his ideas. I mean, look, the back four, Alderweireld, that one tackle on Gabriel Jesus, absolutely incredible. The whole game from him was good, although it looks like he got injured, right? I mean, look at Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. My goodness, what a performance. I mean, let's not forget he was at Bayern Munich. He was surplus to requirements, although I wonder when they look at him right now, went to Southampton as we know it. It's been incredible. Sissoko right next to him, incredible. And Ndombele, who we thought was done playing, put in a shift. I even wrote, like, when Jose Mourinho was substituting him, I made a note like, no, why are you doing that? Next thing you know, 30 seconds later, Lo Celso comes in, first touch, thank you very much. You add to it Harry Kane, who is arguably the best playmaker. And I say, at first I said that as a joke, but I actually kind of mean it because he's been that good. I'm not even talking about the assists, but the way he drops into that midfield, what he does. So he's changed his game, assisting, still scoring goals. Son, arguably the best player this season in the league, really. So, I mean, you look around and, my goodness, you've asked me if Chelsea are amongst the favorites to win it. Please don't ask me about Spurs.
Well, I will be going there. But first of all, I'll pick up on a few of the plays that you have. You mentioned Harry Kane and his assists. That was his 9th of the season. And he just seemed too hot to handle today for City's players.
He's just smart. I mean, how many times have we all doubted Harry Kane? The moment he stepped on the pitch for Spurs so many years ago, had a great first season, doubts came in. Can he do it again? He did it again. The third season was the same. The fourth season was the same. I remember reading the whole story, and we know how much this team suffers when he's not around. Although, I mean, if you look at pure statistics, there have been times where Spurs have done well, even without him, but we all know what he means. And that partnership that he's developed now with HeungMins is exceptional as well. So look, I mean, I think this is an added bonus. I don't know if it's conscious or subconscious what he's starting to do. Is he adjusting his game a little bit? I'm not sure. I think Jose Mourinho has probably helped him with some of that, although I think we still need to give a lot of credit to Mauricio Pochettino because he was the one kind of started it, believed in him as well. So he's been superb.
HeungMins Son as well. That's his 9th goal of the season. He's level in Europe top 5 leagues with Kylian Mbappe behind only Robert Lewandowski. Now, earlier this week, I spoke to Ali Moreno and we did the way too early Premier League season awards, and he picked Jack Grealish so far as the standout player of the season, but surely Son is definitely in with the shout right now.
Yeah, I think Son for me is, yeah, it's small margins, of course, and it's way too early. But I just think that if you look at Son, and in particular today, I'm sure many noticed what he did defensively. I mean, he was playing like a fullback many times, which, by the way, not only is he willing to do that, but he's done it before. So this is not news. It doesn't take me to tell anyone. But if you really truly pay attention to these little details, I mean, he was just incredible. And obviously we know his chemistry. We know how much he's respected by Jose Mourinho, who thinks there's nobody like him as well. And by the way, Jose still, is learning about these players, right? I mean, this is still relatively new to him. But as I've said, and I want to repeat this is the third best record behind Liverpool and Manchester City since he came over. And this weekend is the anniversary, that first year anniversary. So things are looking up. Tough times are going to come, I'm sure, because that's the nature of the league. And that's why I think we're talking about, look at Villa's been on top. Leicester City's been on top. Spurs been up because of this pandemic, because of the number of games, because of the international football, obviously COVID, it can change from hour to hour, never mind from week to week.
Has had trouble before, though, Jose Mourinho, when he does lose his key players. So what does happen if, let's hope it doesn't, if something bad happens or injury hits the likes of a Harry Kane or a HeungMins Son?
Well, I think, we've seen glimpses of Carlos Vinicius, haven't we? And to me, he looks the part. I haven't seen a full sample of that because that's going to take time. So there are players. You look at Lo Celso's getting better. You look at Lamela, another player that obviously, when healthy, can contribute. So they do have depth, but I think, and I come back to when you asked me about Chelsea, I feel Chelsea are a little bit deeper in terms of talent, and I think they're deeper in terms of flexibility. When you look at Spurs, to me, there's certain position. It's not like they're all interchangeable players. Like for Chelsea, if you look at the front three or midfield three, they can play just about anywhere. They can play false nine. They can play this way, that way, every which way. Whereas Spurs, I still think that you can almost say that maybe they're punching above their weight just a little bit, right? Which I'm sure Jose Mourinho is going to say. But the reason I think they're going to be there in the final analysis, at least maybe close, is because, again, Jose feels comfortable. I mean, let's be honest. He won this game. He won the mind games ahead of the game even, right? I mean, think about Sterling, what he was saying, when he was recalled from England because of his injury from international duty. He said that I would be willing to bet a lot of money that Pep Guardiola did not start him in this game because of that. Now people will say, well, he did have a knack. He was always going to come off the bench. But there had to be a temptation because this Man City team, by the way, although I think they're getting the right pieces together and they'll be fine. You watch, because you can see it. Everybody's getting healthy. They'll be fine. But they're a different team. Manchester City used to beat teams in the width of the penalty area. When David Silva, the little magician, was incredible, right? In games like these, tightly packed defenses, he will get people through in behind the back four in the width of the penalty area. Now they play the width of the pitch, and that's not good. Fullbacks don't get involved as much and all that. So Manchester City disappointed today. We all knew they had their possession, or they were going to have the possession, but again, they're still missing some key pieces. Fair play to Jose Mourinho and Spurs because normally we have issues with pragmatic Jose Mourinho, but then again, we should know better because we've seen this for years.
Yeah, as you said, he questioned the legitimacy of Raheem Sterling's withdrawal from the England squad. That fired Pep up, who said maybe Jose Mourinho is a doctor. And then even before the game, Jose said, well, we're ready, but we're not as ready as Raheem Sterling, who's been resting all week. So he said he'd be playing. And you think that Pep Guardiola really didn't start him because of this situation?
It wouldn't shock me. I mean, look, if he's injured and he's being recalled, let's face it, right? I mean, I know that the last game didn't mean as much for England, but still, it almost doesn't matter what I think. But this is typical Jose Mourinho. He still has that where a lot of the managers have a difficulty dealing with that. You know what I mean? Because at the very least, he's put a little bit of a doubt. So if the thinking was that, Sterling can come, this is a massive game for Manchester City. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, they have one less game, but they haven't had a good start. I think this is the worst start for Pep Guardiola in history, for him personally, right? I'm pretty sure that that's that. Oh, it's got to be somewhere close. So,
Yeah, I think you're right.
so I think, those mind games, we knew it, right? And I don't know. I think maybe Pep thought that Sterling should start from the beginning, or maybe he thought that he was going to play him a little bit longer than he did, right? Because in the end, he was healthy enough to play, but only played a small part when things were kind of gone by then.
So what does it tell us about Man City? Because just after he's renewed his contract, this wouldn't be the result that Pep Guardiola would have wanted.
Kate, this is what it tells me. They'll be absolutely fine. Kun Aguero is going to come back. I think defensively, they're solving their problems. They have one of the best players, best goalkeepers in the world still, right? If you look at Ruben Diaz, the other day looked tremendous. Was it against Croatia? 2 goals, I think. In that game, I don't think we have any questions about Laporte. I think they're going to start forming proper partnership there. Fullbacks are fine for them. I don't think there's going to be a massive issue for that. In the center of the pitch, a little bit. But again, I think Pep Guardiola stayed because he got assurances that the rebuild is going to be real. And the rebuild's already happening. There's some younger players coming in, and the signing of Ruben Diaz and who else is it? Phil Foden's going to get better. And I'm pretty sure that he was told, look, whatever the players that you need as we go forward, you're going to get. Because I don't think otherwise Pep Guardiola stay there. I think he's mentioned when he talked to management that they assured him, the couple conversation he had with Khaldoon were positive, right? So I don't think there's going to be a problem. That's future. In the meantime, I still think that when it's all said and done, it's going to be up there. Manchester City is going to be fighting till the last moment for the top prize, because there's just too much talent there, and it's going to click. Teams like that or players like that don't forget how to play football.
Okay, so I'm not going to make you give me the top 4, but I want to know of the 3 teams we've been discussing here: City, Spurs, and Chelsea, who we were talking about earlier as title contenders. Who finishes ahead of the other?
I still think City, because I just haven't seen, they've been just decimated. I mean, I haven't seen the full article, the full team yet, and they're still thereabout. They win their in-hand games and they're right about there. So I'm still going to say City. I think we're going to see an issue with Spurs. Chelsea worry me in my prediction because they look the part. But again, Liverpool, City still for me the top 2 at the moment. With Liverpool, obviously, I'm going to wait a little bit because it's getting ridiculous in terms of what's happening to them, and it may affect my opinion on that.
And just to end then, Chelsea ahead of Spurs or behind them?
I'd like to say ahead. At the moment.
Okay, but it is all subject to change. But today, a Mourinho masterclass against Manchester City.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.